So one of the best relationship books out there that I think everybody ought to read is called 5 Love Languages, right? It's by Gary Chapman. I think it's sold 3, 4, 5 million copies. It's phenomenal, right? And the 5 love languages he talks about are quality of time. There are people that like quality of time, words of affirmation, saying nice things, gifts, acts of service, and then physical touch. Just like there is 5 love languages in a relationship, there are 9 love languages that great entrepreneurs learn on how to speak with their teammates. And I'm going to cover that with you here today. And I hope I explain this in a way that it makes sense to you, because, you know, everyone is going to maybe need different things at different times. But the entrepreneurs that eventually build a very big empire, they learn these different things on how to deal with people. And generally, it may not even be all the entrepreneurs. It's definitely going to be anybody that ends up leading at a high level. Anyone that leads an organization at a high level where a lot of people, they're reporting to them, they will learn. I don't know if they're going to master all 9 of them, but these are 9 love languages that entrepreneurs speak with their teammates. Let me start off with the first one. Okay, first one is, we need you. We need you. Let me explain what this means. In sports, when a coach goes to a player who isn't performing and will say, we can't win a championship, we need you to come through, we need you. There are people that need to be felt needed, and sometimes leaders don't do a good job expressing the fact that certain people are needed. Certain people, they don't care to be needed. To them, it's kind of like the more they feel like they're needed, the more they may abuse the relationship. But there are those that if they feel like they're needed, they respond in a big way. But it's not everybody. Some people, you tell them, we need you, they're kind of like, oh, you need me. Without me, you can't do anything. That's not the point, that we can't do anything without you. But a great team is about everybody pulling their own weight. So we need you to step up. We need you to improve. And the mature leaders respond to that. And you also learn a lot about people. But one of the languages is learning how to ask people that you need them. So this means you give them responsibilities. I need you to help me out with this. I say this over and over again. Steve Kerr, coach of Golden State Warriors, who won a championship last year, got Andre Iguodala, who's an absolute all-star, to come off the bench. He says, I need you to come off the bench and play strong defense. I need you. The team needs you to do this. He did that. He became finals MVP. Need, responsibility, impact. Impact is very important for people that want to be felt needed. Number 2, the other language is recognition. Recognition. Most jobs, and most corporate jobs at least, there is really no recognition. If you look at companies that are stagnant, you will generally see that recognition sucks at that company. They don't know how to recognize. They don't recognize. It's all so much about pressure, that there's no recognition to make the people feel special about the efforts that they're putting in. And entrepreneurs that speak this language, you can have a lot of fun with this. Recognition, I mean, I love recognizing our guys, and sometimes it's just adding your own touch to it when you're recognizing. You know, one time for one of our senior vice presidents, Jason, I got him a 1984 Olympic torch from the Olympics, from LA. And so that's a meaningful gift. You know, getting a Ayrton Senna helmet to one of our buddies, Matt. You know, getting a, you know, signed guitar by Zeppelin or, you know, Guns N' Roses or any of that. It could be, you know, signed Michael Jordan shoes. It could be custom, you know, Louis Vuitton bag. It could be anything. It's certain things that you're recognizing. A lot of times it may be a plaque. And maybe one time we did what? We did 9 exotic cars with the Lambo and the Ferrari and the Aston Martin and the Bentley and the Ghost. And you recognize. But recognition is people need to be recognized. And there's different ways that you recognize. 1 is privately. You recognize them. 2 is publicly, you recognize them. And 3, behind their back, you recognize them. Yes, behind people's back. Let me explain. What is publicly? Publicly is in front of everybody. Hey, great job, team member. He's a team member of the month. He did a phenomenal job. He did this, that. And you tell them why they did a great job and you recognize them. Privately is typically a mature leadership item that's taking place where, listen, I just want to let you know you've grown a lot. I certainly hope this doesn't change. But I want to recognize you. I see what you're doing to improve the way you've been improving. Thank you. And then, you know, nothing is more exciting than recognition. People run and play sports and put their bodies through so many different things just to be an all-star, just to be an American college football player, just to be an MVP, just to be a champion, because recognition means a lot. We need it. Believe it or not, you need it. Some people say, I don't need any recognition. People who say they don't need any recognition, guess what they need? They need recognition the most. They're afraid to put the effort in because they may not get it. But recognition is something that everybody across the board needs. I don't care how confident a person is, everybody needs recognition. Third language is praise and encouragement. Praise and encouragement. Praise and encouragement is also a thing that you got to learn. Now, keep in mind, non-performers, you can't recognize them for anything. So you can't get up there and say, I want to recognize this person for not performing. So you don't want to take the individuals that have gone above and beyond and recognize everybody else at that level, because that doesn't work. That's not fair. That guy went above and beyond everybody else. But you can definitely praise people and tell them, hey, good job. I like what you did. You came here on time today. Good job. You can encourage them. You can do this. You can get better. I expect more than this. It's a language you speak. Again, privately, publicly, behind closed doors. Behind their back. Behind their back is telling other people, I'm seeing his attitude is changing. That's behind their back. Okay? Hey, I'm starting to see his effort is improving. Then that gets to them. Behind their back. That's just people. It's a language you speak. 4, clear direction. Clear direction is if you tell your teammates, I need you to do this by then. That's a language that you need to speak as an entrepreneur and a leader, because your team needs to hear that from you. So I need you to get this done by this date. Can you do that? This is what I need you to do. And I need you, when you do this, I need this. This is what I'm expecting. Okay, no problem. Great. Hey, I really want to move up and I want to, no problem. Let me give you clear direction. You need to do this and this and this. Great. And by this time, great. That language, a lot of time people are, you can do it. Go get it. Not effective. Clear. You need to do this, this. Typically, don't overwhelm more than 3. Now, obviously, if you're having a leadership retreat and you're talking for like a handful of days and you're talking about all these different points, I get it. But generally, if it's one-on-one, give them 3 points on areas that you need them to improve and give them direction. Next language, vision. Vision, most people are not visionaries. Most people are not visionaries. So you need to understand this is not something that naturally, there are people that are visionaries, and then there are those that are not visionaries. But here's the thing, that those who are not visionaries, sometimes you don't talk about the vision and the future enough. The great leaders, the great entrepreneurs, they're always selling the future on where we're going and what things are going to happen. You just got to know this. They're constantly selling the future on what's going to take place, what's next, what's exciting about next year, what's exciting about 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15, 20 years from now. And by the way, this is what great presidents do. America's got an incredible future. We're going to be the greatest days of ours are ahead of us. They're not behind us. This is a vision being casted. We're going to help the economy. We're going to help America in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Innovation. We're going to land on the moon. John F. Kennedy, visionary. Okay, we're going to do this, and Elon Musk, visionary. There's a vision being sold. And I think even whether you are a visionary or not, if you put it as a reminder to constantly work on explaining the vision and the future, where it's going, your team needs to hear that, just so you know that. Everybody needs to hear what the future looks like in the company and the organization you're part of. 6, it's a language, dream. Dream. So here's the vision, here's where we're going. How are my dreams going to become a reality by this vision? Well, when we do this, you're going to be able to do this. You're going to have this life, you're going to have this money, you're going to have this income, you're going to have this accolades, you're going to have whatever is important to the person. But dreams. I was a guy, every time I'm looking at this picture here, this picture never gets old to me, right? I was a guy that, I was sold a dream. I'm 21 years old. You're taking a picture of a red Ferrari, right? I was sold a dream. I bought into a dream, right? This is, I look at these pictures and I go through it. What excited me was a dream. Man, one day if I can do this, one day, this is this is 3 weeks into Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. I'm at San Francisco when 9/11 happened. This is me at San Francisco getting training. I am $49,000 in debt here. I just passed my Series 7. I'm there with a bunch of other people that are coming from wealthy families, degrees, all this. I'm the only one in class without a degree. But I had a dream. What if? What if this happens? And I think those that inspire the most to follow them and work with them speak the dream language constantly. Speak the dream language constantly. So take an inventory. How often do you speak the dream language? Next, involvement. Let me explain to you what I mean by involvement, what type of a language this is on involvement. Constantly asking people their opinion. Constantly asking people for their feedback. Constantly asking people, what do you think we need to do next? What are your thoughts on this? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about this? Involvement. People are being heard. Now, if you ask people for their ideas and you never implement their ideas, then they're like, why do I even give it to them? Because you never do it anyways. But it's ideas that they give you, and then they see progress. Ideas that they show, well, what if we did this part? What if we did that part? How can we make the energy better? How can we make the office better? How can we make the company better? Everything's coming from that place, and people are involved to give you feedback. How can we make our group better? How can we get to the next? How can we become number one? How can we do this? Involvement. Number eight, the language of challenging someone. This sounds strange, but great leaders challenge people all the time, privately, publicly, and behind closed doors, behind their back. If I have somebody that I see is making progress, I'm gonna pull them aside and say, listen, I'm gonna let you know I see it. You're making a lot of progress. I'm excited for you, but I hope you don't slip. I hope you don't slip again. I hope you get focused. Hey, what's been your behavior lately, man? You're acting like this whole thing is only around you. Does the world revolve around you only? Do you realize there's other people that helped you become successful as well? Do you realize how much support you've had? So that's a challenge 101. Then publicly maybe, hey, since when have we thought we're already there? Since when are we walking on just because you guys made $50,000 last month or $100,000 last month or $30,000 last month? Since when are you financially free already? Since we already the largest financial, since when are we there already? Why are we behaving this way? Why are we acting this way? Why are we doing this? Group, right? And then behind people's back, I have no problem with somebody, hey, I don't know what's been happening. One day he's in, one day he's out. I don't know. I hope he improves. I don't know what, and that gets to them. I'm totally okay with that. I don't have a problem with that. Phil Jackson was famous for this. Riley was famous for this. Belichick is famous for this. Wooden was famous for this. Great coaches are famous for this. Great parents are famous for this. Great leaders are famous for this. Great generals are famous for this. Why? Because, one, it's showing that nobody is greater than the team. Hey, we all need to pull our own little red wagon. We all need to pull our weight. We all need to put our part together. The show doesn't revolve just around one player. It ain't going to work out that way. We're a team. Now, somebody typically does more than the rest. You're going to get recognized for it. But if not, if you think you're above everybody and everybody's below you and they're not worthy of you and all this, no, we're not going to do that either. So those types of conversations need to, by the way, most people think, I don't want to challenge because people don't like it. They look at you like they don't like it. They walk away when they're in their car by themselves. This is what they say. He's a leader. She's a leader. That's why I follow him. Can't stand him sometimes, but that's why he's a leader. That's why he's a leader. And then they also become leaders who are also willing to challenge and push other people because they speak that language to behind closed doors. Then they go through the process that they go through with people don't liking them. And then they remember how they treated you. Then they'll call and say, I just want to let you know, man, I was a pain in the butt. Thank you so much because I'm going through it now. Okay, good. No problem. All good. By the way, don't get too comfortable going back to it again, right? And then the last language is actually not a language. The last language is when you just go zip and you simply listen. Listening. Not easy because some of us, all of us, every one of us can improve in all these 9 items. Some of us want to talk more. Some of us want to listen. Listening is a very, very big skill set. Sometimes it's just sitting there and just hear them out. Sometimes I have some of my leaders, people that I'm mentoring that just want to call and talk for 40 minutes. I let them. Go ahead. And he knows who he is and she knows who she is. I have a call and boom, they just go. No problem. I'm listening. And then feedback here, and I'll take notes. Feedback here, because I want to listen. I don't get on the call and they're just talking, put them on mute, and I'm doing other things. I'm listening and I'll say, hey, about that thing you said about 15 minutes ago, what do you think about this? I would say this, and don't think like this because I don't think it's healthy for you to think this way because it's going to create more resentment. Okay, great. So listening, showing interest genuinely. All these things, by the way, if it's not genuine, people can tell them apart. If it's an act, people can tell. So it's something that you got to genuinely want to do these things because you are dealing with people. Anyways, Paul, get my pillow. So 9 love languages of entrepreneurs. This one was fun to put together. I was excited about putting this one together because I know a lot of people can work on those 9 areas and help with their business. All right, hey, 100,000 subscribers by August 31st. Is our goal. We're making a massive, massive launch of a website, a domain I just bought for 6 figures that will be launching in August. And we need to get to 100,000 subscribers by August 31st. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please do so. You'll see it depends on where you're watching the video and how. Subscribe to the channel. I think we're at like 45,000 subscribers right now. And peers, invite peers. We're getting a lot of people that are campaigning around helping us get to 100,000. I'm getting people. One guy sent 3 pages of points on how to get this going. All the, this should be a 1 million subscription channel. This should be 1 million. Why aren't you? By the way, we don't advertise. We don't do anything. We have done now advertising. It's purely word of mouth on how this channel is growing. Some of our peers and competitors advertise hundreds of thousands of dollars on a monthly basis. We don't. We have grown it so far organically. Now, we may do it in the future, but right now it's organically. And the goal is to get this thing to 1 million and 10 million subscribers eventually in the future, where it becomes a #1 stop for people to go to for entrepreneurship. And we're going to have other people that are going to come and do videos as well for Valuetainment, which we'll be recruiting. But stay tuned. First, we got to get to 100,000 subscribers on Valuetainment before we get to that next level. So with that being said, if you watch this video on a complete different site, you can always come back to patrickbetdavid.com. Give me the ringtone. There you go, baby. And if you got any questions, comments, please comment on the bottom. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.